Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, and welcome to another edition of the Straight Up TJ Podcast. Really do appreciate your time. We're going to go ahead and forego the introductions in a pomp and circumstance. I'm running a little bit behind. Thank you for all those that are behind the scenes. Thank you for patiently waiting. I apologize once again. I've been playing flag football, and we had a game tonight. Ran a little long, man. Had to come back to home, take a shower, and then jump on, man. But I appreciate everybody in the chat. I know a lot of people are ready to talk about this particular topic, and I really do appreciate the time. I'm not going to waste anybody's time. We're going to be answering the question, is it time for the New Orleans Saints to move on from Cesar Ruiz? Is it that time? Is it about that time? Look, Cesar Ruiz is one of the most controversial figures among the Saints roster, I think, to say the least. People have their different opinions and views and thoughts about Cesar, right? He was the Saints' first round pick back in 2020, coming out of the University of Michigan. And, he's been a starting right guard for the Saints, moving to center from occasionally for the last 6 seasons. Now, Cesar Ruiz is going into his 7th season, and there's still a lot of unanswered questions about him. And also, can he be that true starting right guard for the Saints? Can he find consistency? And Cesar Ruiz was on the Teron Armstead podcast, a podcast that I actually enjoy. T-Stead is killing it right now. Shouts out to T-Stead. He's definitely one of the best left tackles in New Orleans Saints history. Will be in the Ring of Honor, no doubt about that. We know about how T-Stead held it down on the left side, protecting Drew Brees' blind side for many a years before he wrapped his career up with Miami. But nonetheless, he shows a lot of love to the offensive linemen. Of course, we know he works out with quite a few of them. Talase Fuaga, he worked out with T-Stead, Calvin Banks, someone that Saints fans are extremely excited about. He also worked out with T-Stead as well. And of course, we know that T-Stead and Cesar Ruiz were teammates for a few years, right? They were on the offensive line together. The elder statesman, Teron Armstead, took Cesar Ruiz under his wing, and you can tell through this exchange that they have a really good relationship. Now, we're going to be reacting to this interview, and we're going to be realistic about it, man. I'm not going to waste anybody's time. I'm not sitting up here trying to be controversial. I'm not trying to sit up here and act as if, I'm some type of shock jock or anything like that. We're just going to be realistic and talk about Cesar Ruiz. That's what we're going to do. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up, but I do want to acknowledge the chat before we get started. Shouts out to everybody there. Very, very simple. Number one, hit that like button to help the channel to grow. Number two, hit that subscribe button, and also put your comments in the chat throughout the show. All right. But we're going to go ahead and get into it. I'm going to go ahead and put it up on the screen. We're going to be breaking this interview down. T-Stead talking to Cesar Ruiz, talking about him evaluating himself here. T-Stead is going to ask him a question, and we're going to hear from Cesar. We're going to break this thing down. All right. So let's go ahead and get this party started. All right. Here we go.
Intention, your attention, your approach to it every day has been incredible. Everything that I can ask for, you doing it. Yeah. And I'm excited. Like, I'm truly excited for your upcoming season. Yeah. Talk to me about your upcoming season.
Sorry about that, folks. I'm gonna go ahead and minimize that just a little bit.
Having a little in the upcoming season for the 2026 New Orleans Saints. You got your guy at quarterback. Oh yeah. You got your guy that you play next to on both sides. Eric McCoy, Talise Fuaga. Talk to me about what we can expect from these 2026 New Orleans Saints.
2026. You want me to do the team first and then me, or you want me to do me then? What you want to do as a whole?
Let's hear Cesar Ruiz first.
Oh, bro, I got something to prove, bro. I feel like it's not even. I feel like, bro. Like I don't know. Like I said, I got mad love for everybody, bro. Like, you know, I love this game, bro. Like, I do this shit for free. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I love this game, bro. And the way
I wouldn't
work,
let you, but go ahead.
yeah,
I
you
get
know what
what
I'm
you're
saying? It's just, you know what I'm saying? It just shows, I meant to say how much I love it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But definitely wouldn't do it, you know, not today's economy. But listen, it's not the here or there. But like, honestly, bro, I got something to prove because obviously last season I didn't capitalize off the year before like I wanted to. Came off the best season I ever had in my life. We talked cover Sports Illustrated. We remember all the stuff we talked about, all the stuff. I'm like, man, I'm having an amazing season. And to not be able to capitalize off that how I wanted to, it lit a fire, bro. And it really, it was eating me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was bothering me. And I just locked in and just blocked out everything. And truly, that's been my mindset, bro. I got something to prove, bro. Not only to people watching, but to myself. You know, and that's really been the mindset, especially this whole off season. Like especially me and you, like, you know what I'm saying, we've talked directly about everything. So that's really what it is, bro. Like, I got something to prove, bro, and I'm ready to roll, guys. For real. Like, I really got a lot to prove, and I can't wait to do it.
To who though? To who? Who are you proving this to?
Everybody don't think I can do it. I know I can do it. A lot of people don't think I can. And, you know, I don't read too much into everything, but, you know, when it'll come across your screen, you know, you feel the vibes. Like, you know what I'm saying? You feel the vibes. I'm like, if you don't think I can, thank you. Like, I need you. I need you to not believe in me, bro. I need you to, because I believe in myself. And when I overcome all this and show y'all, like, hey, I'm still that. Like, I think people think I'm not that no more, but I'm still that. Don't ever forget that. So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just go out there and ball, bro. And I said, I love the city. I love the team. I wouldn't want to be nowhere else, dog. And truly, like, it just means something too for me to go out there and prove it to the city and prove it to the people that love this team. And like, hey, bro, like, I'm still that, and I'm gonna give you all I got no matter what. So, but yeah, bro, this season is like, I year 7, you would think like, oh, like, you know, you relax, like this is the most motivated and like ready to go I've ever been. So I wish it was September, bro, for real. Really.
All right, so there's a lot to unpack there. I'm about to be as real as I could possibly be, right? I'm serious. I'm all jokes aside, I am not just making this episode just to bash Cesar Ruiz. I'm not. Now, I'm just wondering, like, seriously, I'm just wondering. He said people are acting like I'm not that. I know I am that. When was he ever that? Like, I'm serious. When was Cesar Ruiz ever ranked among the top right guards in all of football? Now, I don't have an issue with Cesar having confidence in himself. I don't have a problem with that at all. You should be confident, no matter if you getting whooped at the line of scrimmage every single time. You should have confidence in yourself, but maybe I'm missing something, right? Maybe I'm tripping, but I have never, as long as I've been doing the State of the Saints podcast, as long as I've been watching the Saints pre-game, post-game stuff, I ain't never seen nobody say, man, Cesar Ruiz, I ain't worried about him. Cesar Ruiz is one of the best offensive linemen on the Saints team. Cesar Ruiz, since the beginning, since he stepped foot in New Orleans, has struggled. he struggled. He has been one of the worst right guards in football. Not just on the team. I'm talking about in football. I'm looking at the PFF grades. I'm serious. I'm looking at the PFFs. Now, I know this isn't gospel or anything like that, but this man had an overall last season of a 35.8, run blocking 34.4. Okay? 2025, he had an overall, okay, they talking about, they breaking it down, right? He had an overall, like recent down the stretch, the highest he has ever been was a 55. His best season was a 72.4 in 2024. So he was saying he was coming off a really good season. Now, man, this dude has struggled his entire time with the New Orleans Saints. Seriously. I've never seen Cesar Ruiz ever go out there, and he had like a few games where you didn't have to worry about him. But for the most part, he has always been a liability. The one thing that Cesar Ruiz has going for him every single year, if you look across the offensive line, for the exception of last season, he's been the most durable. But what does that actually mean when you're available and you getting whooped at the line of scrimmage? Even if you take away 2020, which was a COVID year, I'll give him a pass for that, because we know there were certain activities that football players could not take part in because everybody had to social distance, and it affected a lot of rookies. So I'll give him a pass for that. But what has dude done for him to be talking about I'm that? Like, what exactly is that? And that's the question that Saints fans have had the majority of the Sundays when Cesar Ruiz was at right guard. What the hell is that? Once again, I don't have an issue with him having confidence in himself, but we're going to be realistic about this. If you're looking across the offensive line, think about this. The New Orleans Saints have constructed their offensive line. Calvin Banks, David Edwards, Eric McCoy, Cesar Ruiz, and Tallahassee Fuaga. Which one of those gentlemen are you mostly concerned about? You're not concerned about Calvin Banks, who's going into his second season. Not only did Calvin Banks look the part, he was one of the best left tackles in football. Say the least, rookies. He was one of the best left tackles in football. David Edwards is one of the most highly touted free agents that they had going into this 2026 offseason. Eric McCoy, if healthy, he is a top 3, top 5 center in the league. And Tallahassee Fuaga is a really good right tackle. He just had some issues, and he was just out there playing. He had some back issues, and it was affecting his play. But if he's healthy, he's going to be all right. When you look at Cesar Ruiz, like, he is the biggest concern on the offensive line. And like I said, this is not a shot, but the New Orleans Saints have every right to go into the draft trying to get another interior lineman to push Cesar Ruiz. I am not going into the 2026 season with Cesar Ruiz on my mind as a right guard. If Cesar Ruiz, everything he's saying right now, T-Stead, if everything he says, it ends up coming into fruition, then let's have a conversation, and I will be glad to eat crow. But I am very skeptical. What you see is what you get, in my opinion, when it comes to Cesar Ruiz. I haven't seen this stellar play that he's talking about. I haven't seen the type of play consistently where I feel like he can be talking about he's him or he's that. I'm wondering what the hell is that? They have to have a competition at right guard going into training camp and off-season activities. You do not start this season with Cesar Ruiz as your starting right guard, like in pen. I mean, it should be with a magic eraser, to be honest with you. They need to seriously consider someone that can push Cesar Ruiz to a point where if Cesar Ruiz doesn't pan out, you feel comfortable about the next person that's coming in, because that person could possibly have a higher ceiling than Cesar Ruiz. But I've seen enough. I'm serious. I've seen enough. I think we have a large enough sample size of Cesar Ruiz for us to really, truly break down his career. It's been a lot of inconsistent play. He's super athletic. I'll give him that. When the Saints are running some of those screen plays or like running some of these zones and stuff like that, have him like as a lead blocker on like running, like he's super athletic. Like we seen the classic play from Alvin Kamara when he caught that screen and Ruiz running down the field. He has the athletic ability. But when you get and whooped at the line of scrimmage, I'm talking about guys just one stepping you, like hitting you with that every time. Like you barely even touching them. How can you truly say, seriously, that you're that? And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't believe him. Like, it's a good thing to say, but I don't believe this. Man, I don't know if it's just the fact that maybe he's just not comfortable talking, but I'm not buying it, man. I'm not. It's like in the back of his mind, it's like, man, I got to say this. Like, I don't feel like you saying this with your chest. And look, T-Stead is going to encourage him because that's big bro right there, right? Big bro going to encourage you. He going to be like, hey, man, look, man, keep your head up, right? Keep moving. That's what big bros do. You know, like, man, you have a veteran wide receiver and you're a young buck. Hey, man, pick your head up, man. I know you dropped the pass, man. You know, that's what they're supposed to do. But I don't believe him. I don't feel like you're going to see him channel like his inner like Jurgens or something like that, or Lane Johnson. You know what I'm saying? I don't see that. I don't believe it. Now, we've seen offensive linemen who struggled throughout their career find success, but I'm just saying, I mean, it has been a roller coaster ride for Cesar Ruiz. And the reason I don't feel bad about saying these things is because the general manager called you out. The general manager called you out. Like, he mentioned you by name. And this is very rare because we know that Mickey Loomis doesn't give people anything. Like, all of his responses are pretty vanilla. Like, he talks long, but never really says anything. I mean, he's mastered that. Like, he basically just kind of talk in circles and you walk away from the press conference like, man, what the hell did we accomplish here? Cesar Ruiz got called out by a general manager who has a reputation of keeping things close to the vest. Cesar Ruiz should be one of those guys that Saints fans look at like Eric McCoy. Man, if he can stay healthy, like nobody is concerned about Eric McCoy. The only thing is like if he can stay healthy. But when he's on the field, nobody's concerned about him. You ain't even really concerned about Calvin Banks. You're not concerned about Tallahassee Fuaga like that. But every single week, Cesar Ruiz is the main offensive lineman that people are concerned about. And hell, I hope he's right. I hope he's right. But I don't think so. I do not believe him. 6 years going into your 7th season, and we've seen the same old thing every single week. There's some good in there. I'm not going to say like he hasn't done some good, but for the most part, it has been glaringly like egregious in most cases. The one thing that he has going that I will give him props for, he's been the most durable on the line. But we should be talking about Cesar Ruiz with a C on his chest. We should be talking about Cesar Ruiz like being, in an offensive huddle, talking Tyler Shuck through the situation, calling out the protections, like the one that he can rely on, the one that's pushing defensive linemen down the field, so he can open up lanes for AK. That's what we should be talking about when it comes to Cesar Ruiz. But instead, we're talking about a guy who is going into his 7th season being a liability. You are what you are, and we have to just come to grips with that. Now, once again, if he proves me wrong, and he proves this statement wrong. Now, you ain't got to prove me wrong. Who the hell am I? But if you can prove this statement wrong, I'm all for it. I'll come back, man. Look, Cesar Ruiz, I apologize. But I'm telling you, I don't believe him. I don't believe what he's saying right now. It don't seem like he's very confident in what he's saying. I don't know if it's just the fact that he's not used to talking, but I don't believe it. It just sounds like somebody just saying something that they feel like they should say. Let's go ahead and continue. I mean, I don't believe it.
Dude, I really do wish it was September, dog. Like,
hey, calm down, baby. Calm down, dog.
Like, that's just, but that's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just a respect thing. You know what I'm saying? It's really just a respect thing, and you know, you gotta earn that, and that's what I'm coming to do. And go ahead.
No, for sure. I would say, C's, I feel the hunger. Yeah. And the enthusiasm to get active, like to get back on the field. And I'm going to keep you contained right now. Sure. I am, because I've seen the work that you've put in every day.
Talking them up.
You're ready.
That motivation right there.
But we can't fast forward.
Yeah, no.
We still got time to go through. We still got, and you might have shit pop up. You might have a hamstring pop up. You know, some shit is not going to be in your control. Mm-hmm. But what you can control, what you will continue to do, is your daily deposits. You're doing it. You checking every box with intention and with one goal in mind. That's to be the best version of you. And that's a bad month. Listen, you got it, dog. Well, you know that. As you said, that it's some people that think you can't. It's a lot more people that think you can.
I'm one of those people that think he can. I'm sorry, T-Stead. I'm sorry. I'm one of them people that think he can. I appreciate the TED talk, the big brother talk, man. I'm motivated. Look, man, got me inspired, right? That's probably one of the main reasons why T-Stead was a captain on the offensive line. But to me, it's more like, if you listen to what he's saying, it's almost like somebody trying to like fully encourage him. Like, and then you bring it up like, oh man, we still got some things to do. Like, it's like, okay, man, look, I feel you. I feel your hunger. I feel your passion, blase, but man, you still got some room to improve here. And like I said, it's a big bro encouraging a little bro. But he was saying that, you know, there are some people that believe that you can't. And there's plenty of people that believe that you can. I mean, it could be, but when I'm serious. I'm talking about, like, I know that sometimes on social media, like, we have a tendency of feeling like in that space, it's the general consensus, right? But a lot of people aren't on social media. I went down to the city last week, right? Shouts out to the people, you know what I'm saying? I'm at the Riverwalk. I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm walking around. And, you know, people like, you know, recognize your boy from the podcast. They're like, man, what you think the offensive line gonna do? I'm like, man, look, they look like they're getting better. Turn around and be like, man, I don't know, bro. You think they're gonna keep Cesar Ruiz? That was like people were talking about. That's what people were talking about. Like, I think I met maybe not a lot of people, but you know what I'm saying? I'll say like a good little bit. I'm talking about like older people, which I was actually shocked. Like somebody, you know, like pretty much in their 50s and stuff like that, 60s, like that was pretty humbling and cool at the same time. But people were talking about Cesar Ruiz. Like, I'm serious, man. People don't care about how you want to improve. People want to see the proof. People want to see you go out here and make things happen. And like I said, he's a great athlete. Most of the time when the Saints are doing something that's sophisticated offensively, like he's like the lead blocker, you're not going to do that kind of stuff if you don't trust the guy's athletic ability on the offensive line. But in reality, dude, you are a liability. And look, I don't know, man. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes. Like, these guys have families. They deal with injuries that, you know, that people don't know that much about. You know, like there are certain things that may not be on the injury report. I get that. But dang, we going into season 7 and you weren't on the injury report all the time, dude. And it's time for you to put up or shut up. But I'm gonna be honest, like, it's been that time. It's good that, you know, you feel like you're motivated, but you should have been motivated from the beginning. You should have been motivated to a point when you were the only starter on the offensive line. You should have been a guy like, man, it's time for me to elevate my game. I'm the elder statesman. And I'm pretty sure the offensive line coach had this conversation with him. Like, okay, Cesar, you know, you're the guy now. You're the guy that we need to rely on. So look, I don't know. T-Stead said, you know, people that criticize him are in the minority. I guess that's where I'm at, because I don't believe it. I don't. I'm sorry, folks. Continue. We'll continue. But,
sure.
You know what I mean? So like, we're gonna focus on them anyway. We're gonna focus on the ones that's behind us anyway, not the ones that's against us. Anybody against us getting rolled over. We're gonna roll with the support. Stay that hunger that you got right now.
Hold on, wait. This is what I don't like. This is what I don't like. And I gotta push back on my boy T-Stead for this. It's never personal. Like, well, for me, it's never personal. But we gonna keep a buck. We gonna keep a spade. Like, man, I just hate this thin skin type stuff. Like, when we put on the tape, okay, when fans, when onlookers, when reporters put on the tape and they see you out here getting whooped, getting embarrassed, misused and abused, and they writing articles about it, they talking about the struggles, all of a sudden you become a hater. That's not being a hater. That's being realistic. This is what I don't feel. I don't feel like when people like they get mad when they put on the tape, they know they struggle. If you dropping passes left and right, and somebody like, man, what's going on with this dude, man? He had a first down right there, man, with a move to change. How can you get mad at somebody for calling that out? If you struggling on the offensive line and getting whooped and people calling it out, how can you sit up here and get upset and talk about calling people haters? I don't want to hate on anybody. I wish that the New Orleans Saints would have a team full of dogs to a point where we're having episodes of State of the Saints, Straight Up TJ, and we're talking about how good the New Orleans Saints are and they can't be beat. Like this thin skin, like, oh, you everybody against me stuff, like it's ridiculous. And I get it. There are a lot of people out here that they just want to pile on and make a big deal a big deal. But when it comes to the production, we have to keep a spade a spade. Put on the film. What are you looking at? It's not like people wake up in the morning and be like, man, how am I hate on Cesar Ruiz today? How am I hate on this guy today? None of that. Like, oh, man, people are against you. Like, not the fact that people are against you. They want you to play better. Because if you play better, it will generate better results for the offense. So I got to kick back against that, man. And that's the problem I have. Because somebody is critical of your game and you know it's warranted, all of a sudden, like, you want to get mad, and if somebody reach out to you, want to talk to you, all of a sudden, I don't want to talk. Well, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. If I got a lot of kick it and you know that you struggling, I know you struggling, I call out the struggles, and all of a sudden I'm a hater? No, I'm not a hater. I'm a realist. Because if you're being real with yourself, you would be saying the same damn thing. So no, I don't accept that, man. I don't accept it. Like, seriously, if you're in the film room, you know that these offensive line coaches calling it out. If you're in a wide receiver room and you dropping passes or running bad routes, they gonna call you out. So that's not being a hater. That's being real. That's being realistic. I mean, that's the way I feel.
In your face right here. I love it. I love it, dog. I love it. Where did you show up to training every day, bro, is going to pay dividends. Like, we will see the work. Let's talk Saints. Yeah, your offense specifically. Tyler Shuck, your two young tackles, and the addition of the left guard, David Andrews. Let's talk about the excitement of the Saints offense coming together.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And you like you said, you know the team is, like we know it's team offenses start with O-line. So, like I said, we got Tally in Texas with us. He has, from rookie year, second year, matured overall as a player, but just so talented in just everything he does. Like, I'm just so excited to see him just take off and go to that next level as well, because he's playing great ball. And just to know that he knows it too. It's like, hey, bro, you playing great ball, but you don't even know what you can be just yet. Like he's a dog, bro. Kelvin, same thing, bro. Come in that young and to be so easily coachable and to just be able to retain information and just stay so calm and collected through a whole season like that is great, bro. So talented. Is really good at what he does. He loved the game, man. Eric, we already know Eric's been like that since day one I got here. We always knew Eric's a dog. He stays a dog. He's our leader. You know, he's our captain. And now we got David. And I love watching him last year. And it was great, bro. Like, it was great. I became a fan of his last year. And now that we teammates, it's great because now we got the offensive line. We got all 5 guys. And now you got guys that, you know, have played a lot of ball. So he can pick my brain. I can pick his brain, learn a lot from each other. And I'm really excited. I think it's gonna be special for the O-line and overall for the offense. I mean, you got Tyler. I mean, last year, every week, he was just doing something special every week. I'm like, man, look at this. Right. Look at him go. You can even hear it in the huddle. Like in the huddle, the way he come in the huddle, I'm like, dog, special, bro. Like, you special. Right. And I'm just excited just to see him take off, bro. Because I've been a Shuck fan, you know, and I'm always be a Shuck fan for sure. That's my guy. But just to see how he works and things he does behind the scenes, he's just really a great person, a great leader too. And that's it. Sky's the limit for him too, bro. Like, he's
all right. So, you know, he's very optimistic about the offensive line. I think that Saints fans should be optimistic about the offensive line, but unfortunately, he's the biggest question mark on the offensive line. And I don't think that the New Orleans Saints have put that much effort into trying to improve that offensive line and not going to address the fact that he's been that liability. So I think that the New Orleans Saints are going to draft a guard. You know, depends on if Torricelli Simpkins is taking a step forward. But I definitely feel like the New Orleans Saints, probably not in the first 2 rounds, but, you know, they're going to get themselves a right guard who they feel like could possibly come in there and compete. And, you know, hopefully, you know, Cesar Ruiz, the light comes on for him. But if not, then the New Orleans Saints find somebody that can push him. And if it has to be out of the door, then so be it. All right. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it right there, man. Make sure that y'all check out the rest of that interview, man. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the Teron Armstead podcast channel, you know, on YouTube. Make sure that y'all subscribe to T-Stead, man. T-Stead does an outstanding job, man, doing his thing. You know, he fills in from time to time on Nightcap. I think that's when, you know, the podcast bug hit him. And, you know, he's a really good guy, you know, fellow SWAC guy like myself, man. He went to Arkansas Pine Bluff. We all make mistakes in life. But at the end of the day, you got to love yourself some T-Stead, man, an absolute legend in Saints land, and also killing it in the podcast game. But thank y'all so much, man. Really do appreciate you all checking out the Straight Up TJ podcast. TJ Jones here. And make sure that y'all hit the like button. And, you know, before we tap in with the chat, do want to let everybody know that this show is brought to you by Lucy. This is the State of the Saints podcast. And right now, I want to thank the fine folks at Lucy for being the official sponsor of the State of the Saints podcast. And look, everybody is trying to find ways to unwind, to relax, to have focus, and to have more energy. Some people like energy shots, energy drinks, coffee, right? Even neuro pills to try to get you to focus a little bit more. Everybody is trying to find ways to be in a zone and in a really good space. Now, this is for all of the pouch connoisseurs out there. This is where Lucy comes in. Lucy is 100% tobacco-free pouches, right? And it is available to you in 12 milligrams and 4 milligrams. And it also comes with a hydration capsule, so it just gives you that instant burst and a really good experience. I have a friend of mine, gave him an opportunity to try Lucy, and he has been raving about it, going absolutely crazy about it, and wondering how can he get his hands on some more. Well, if you want to get your hands on Lucy and you are a pouch connoisseur, all you have to do is go to lucy.co/code. And if you don't want to wait, all you have to do is go to their store locator and you'll be able to find Lucy in your area. Now, Lucy is for adults only of legal age, and every customer is age verified. This product contains nicotine, and nicotine, as we know, is an addictive chemical. All right, so make sure that you use responsibly. But once again, want to thank the fine folks at Lucy for being an official sponsor of the State of the Saints podcast. And if you are a pouch connoisseur, once again, go to lucy.co/code to get 20% off on Lucy. Shout out to Lucy being an official sponsor of the State of the Saints podcast. And now it's time to address the chat. All right, time to address the chat. Once again, I apologize that I was a little bit late starting the show. Had a flag football game, man. Been playing flag football, just trying to stay in shape, just trying to make sure that, I just stay healthy, man. I got a 6-year-old son, soon to be 7. I got to keep up with him, man, run around with him. And, I've really been enjoying, playing flag football, man. It's been fun. Your boy was out here making plays tonight. Yeah, I want y'all to check this out real quick. I know it's a little blurry right there. Y'all see your boy in motion right there. You know what I'm saying? Little motion guy right there. Here we go. Drag across the side. Look at that. Watch this. Run across the side. Catch him sleeping. Ah! Little toe drag swag right there. What y'all know about that, man? What y'all know about that toe drag swag? All right. Look, man, but appreciate y'all for being here, man. We're going to go ahead and address the chat. We're going to go ahead and, man, we just going to start at random, all right? People be like, man, TJ, you don't be paying attention to my comments, man. Look, I just basically just randomly start. I don't know where you start. I don't know where, it ends. All I know is we just kind of just pick at random. All right, we're going to start with Dalton. Dalton says, Ruiz has never recovered when he got manhandled by the 49ers defensive lineman when Breeze got injured. Yeah, man. I mean, to me, I just never seen him as a really good right guard. Like some people said that, he plays center, and maybe, if the Saints would have drafted him to play center, he probably would have been better. But at right guard, he never really lived up to what the Saints expected for him to be. And, we could talk about the injuries and stuff like that he had to, that he caused, like Drew Brees. He whiffed on that play, and Drew Brees got exposed, and we know about the rib injury that had Drew Brees on the shelf. But look, man, that happens. You never want that to happen to your quarterback, but you play long enough, you're going to give up a play, and it could possibly get your quarterback hurt. You don't want that to happen, but those defensive linemen get paid a lot of money. But at the same time, you get paid a lot of money, too, to go out there and ball the hell out. And unfortunately, Cesar Ruiz hasn't consistently done that. Saints just made a bad first-round pick. As for Loomis, he drafted him, so who is at fault? Well, look, I think you can blame a little bit of both, right? You can blame Mickey Loomis and the coaching staff for making that decision. I mean, I'm not going to absolve him of that. But you also have to take a look and blame Cesar Ruiz, for never, being consistent on that offensive line. Two things can be true. Like, the GM made a bad decision, and the offensive lineman didn't live up to the potential. So two things indeed can be true. Yeah, those highlights when he get beat on the line are horrible. Yeah, and they're bad. They're like, if Cesar Ruiz was like a 5th-round pick or a 6th-round pick and this was happening to him, you can understand. But when you are a 1st-round draft pick, teams are picking you to solve their problems, not be a problem. And look, there has been way more draft busts in the 1st round than there have been hits. Like, there have been thousands and thousands of NFL players throughout the years. Every 1st-round draft pick doesn't pan out. But when a team drafts you in the 1st round, they one, expect for you to start, if not soon, eventually, and number two, to solve their problem. And Cesar Ruiz hasn't done that. Ruiz gets no props. Dude been horrible. He was the reason Breeze got hurt. Other teams' defense know that they can get past Ruiz. They know that he is the weak link, and they are exploiting it. We need a solid right guard. Look, if Cesar Ruiz goes out here and he practices and he tries to get better and he does get better, let him earn his spot. But the Saints shouldn't go into 2026 with Cesar Ruiz on their mind as right guard. And if he's being realistic, which I think that he is, because I'm kind of reading through that body language, he has to believe that the New Orleans Saints may be considering replacing him. I mean, the GM calling you out, mentioning you by name, when he has a reputation once again of not really saying anything about players. I don't care how bad a player may play or how good a player may play. Mickey Loomis pretty much keep everything close to the vest. And the fact that he didn't, and he mentioned Cesar Ruiz, is extremely alarming to me. I'm one of the people that think he can't. I know he can't. Yeah, I'm in that number, man. I'm in that number. Got any liquor? No, I ain't got no liquor tonight. I didn't mention this. We had like a ritual here on the show now. It's a segment called What You Drinking, right? And I pretty much just tell people I'm drinking each and every night as we do these live reaction videos. I'm still drinking hydration alkaline water because once again, out there playing flag football, so I got to rehydrate. So I'm drinking on water tonight. Would love to know what you all are drinking on. So put that comment inside the chat. What are you drinking on tonight? All right. Let's see. Mad Drummer says, I will never be negative if he can. Let's give him a try. If we see the same results, get him going. Look, I understand the optimism. And look, I hope that he does. Like I say this, I'm skeptical. I don't believe it because I only can go by what I actually see. Like, think about this. Think about this, okay? If your girl or your guy consistently lies to you about everything, are you going to be like, well, you know what? I'm going to give them a shot. I know they lied this time, but they ain't lied to me the day before yesterday. Like, you're going to take that into consideration and formulate your opinion. Look, I don't feel like, honestly, I don't feel like if you are constructively criticizing someone and you have like film, you got analytics to back that up, like that's not you hating. That's not you hating on somebody. That's you being realistic about it, because I don't think that it's not anything that they don't hear from their coaches if their coaches are doing their job. If your coach is just telling you great and you getting whiffing on tackles or dropping passes or, getting beaten coverage, like all these different things. Like if they telling you, oh man, you're great, you're awesome, still, then they doing you a disservice. So I don't look at it like, oh man, I don't want to be negative. Like I don't feel like I'm being negative. I'm only going by what I actually see. And if we are evaluating him based on his performance on the field, then we got to be realistic about this. Most people that have jobs, they end up doing evaluations on you every single year, right? In order for you to be able to get a pay raise, rather there's a quarter, rather there's a couple more dollars, right? And they break it down and they evaluate you. I don't know if people are still doing that or not, but when I was managing, that's what I used to do. I used to call all of my I like to say employees because, I don't feel like I'm high up than anybody. I say coworkers. I'll bring my coworkers into the office and talk about their performance and tell them the things that they do well and things they need to work on. And, you have the checklist and you decide, okay, what category they fall into when it comes to the pay compensation or when it comes to the pay raises. It happens every single year when I was managing. And if we're talking about being realistic, right, and I can back it up with facts. Like if I sit up here and say, man, you can be a much better employee if you came on time a little bit more. I looked at it, right? And you'd be like, man, I'm always on time. Well, I'm looking at the punch sheet and I'm seeing that you're late several times. and you present that to them. You present it to them. Like, what can they do? What can they do besides accept it? So is it me hating on you, or is it me just bringing something to your attention that's painstakingly obvious? Like, we got to get away from this stuff. Like, if we are constructively criticizing someone based on research, based on performance, we're actually watching these things objectively. That's not hating. That's like, hating is you sitting up there and watching a player play and he just eating up your team and you just like, man, forget him, man, he suck. Like, that's hating. But if you are dropping passes when they're meaningful, when you are getting beat in coverage, and when plays on the line, you consistently fall short, that's not hating. If you bring that to someone's attention, that's you evaluating and breaking things down and coming up to that conclusion based on what you've seen. So I don't think that's hating. Like, when people are negative towards somebody, like in this day and age, is like, man, or criticizing somebody constructively, oh, they're a hater. No, they're not a hater. If we're being realistic about that. If we're being realistic about it. Says TJ, if he felt there were people just hating on him, then there would be nothing for you to feel you need to prove. That's a good point, Keen Arthur. That is a really good point. Like, if I'm doing everything right for the most part, well, in a way, I get what he's saying, right? Like, Keen Arthur, like you're an artist, right? You're all like, even though your work is great, you come up with these different games and all that kind of stuff that entertains people. Make sure y'all check out my boy Keen Arthur, by the way. But you're always trying to elevate yourself. You're always trying to improve. Like, even if people like, man, Keen Arthur, man, I had such a great time at your function, and like, man, appreciate you, man, for putting this all together. You're excited about that, but you're thinking about it when you leave, like, how can I make their experience better next time? Right? You're always constantly trying to improve. So I'm not going to knock him for that. But I will say this. When you bring into attention, like, some of the things that people are saying, like, a part of me feels like you already know that they're right. Like, I don't have no problem. Like, you should always be trying to elevate yourself, whether you're good at what you're doing or you're bad at what you're doing. Like, if you look at the State of the Saints podcast or my podcasting from the time I first started the show, and it's pretty much the same thing. No different, no camera quality improvements, no nothing, right? It is just the same old thing. Like, you're going to be like, dang, man, like, TJ been at it for almost 10 years, and man, it's the same old thing. I mean, I rock with him, but dang, man, you should see some levels of improvement. You should always be trying to improve and elevate yourself. So I'm not going to knock him for that. But hearing all that stuff, like, a part of you feels like it's true, because you're not going, like you said, you're not going to bring that stuff up or feel like you have something to prove in some cases, because you're hearing it from not only the fan base, you're hearing it from the general manager, you're hearing it from your coaches, if they're being realistic about your performance. So yeah, it's there. You act like the Saints have been hitting on offensive linemen drafted in the first round. Willie Roaf was the last hit on an offensive line. Oh, you talking about in the first round? You talking about in the first round? Or you just talking about in general? I mean, I think Calvin Banks looked like he a hit. I would have to go throughout the list of, the Saints, like, picking, like, offensive linemen throughout the years. I mean, Eric McCoy was a second round pick, but he was the first pick that the Saints had. And if we talking, I would assume you're talking about first round picks, because I don't want to believe that you're talking about the New Orleans Saints not having any credible offensive linemen. So I assume you're just talking about first rounders. I mean, but at the end of the day, like, man, they've had really good offensive linemen. Like over the last few years, not so much. But, it seemed like they pretty much turning this thing around. Like if Calvin Banks build on his momentum, if Talese Fuaga can stay healthy, I think that, he'll be a hit. But yeah, I mean, the Saints have had some really good offensive linemen, but I assume you're talking about just first round picks, I mean, that is an indictment on Mickey Loomis. I mentioned it. You're right about that. But you don't have to have, like, as long as you're hitting, right? As long as you're hitting in the draft, doesn't mean, like, you don't have to hit in the first round. I mean, you've had Ryan Ramczyk. He was a first round pick. Would you say that they hit on him? So, I mean, they've had like successful guys, but you have to think about it. Okay. The last few offensive linemen that they had in the first round have been terrible. Like Trevor Penning has been terrible. The reason why the Saints pretty much traded him for a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. And Cesar Ruiz hasn't been good either. But I guess if we're talking about like over time, first round picks, yeah, I mean, yeah, but if we're talking about great offensive linemen late, they've done a really good job. Like Jari Evans, good job. Teron Armstead, good job. Right? I mean, Bushrod and all those guys, like, good job. May not have been first round picks. But they've been damn good. Yeah, played at Carver High School, man, in Douglas, who didn't win a game. Didn't win a game. I believe Ruiz, the replacement for McCoy, if he gets hurt. Yeah, I believe Ruiz, the replacement for McCoy, if he gets hurt. Yeah. I mean, but I just think, look, I think that you just need to stop trying to plug and place on offensive line. When you see that there's a need, right? This is something that's extremely alarming. The fact that Eric McCoy has consistently been hurt and Cesar Ruiz has been consistently inconsistent. You need to make sure that you're addressing both positions. I think that's the reason why the New Orleans Saints went and got Luke Fortner. And it ended up working out for him because Fortner wasn't the best center, but he was all right. And you need to be able to find somebody that's going to push Cesar. Like, you don't go into the season like, you know what? You know what? Like, man, we're going to keep Cesar around. Man, I sure can go for a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. Let's see. I remember when TJ was heated when we took Ruiz. I feel the same way to this day. Yeah, I mean, it just don't help you. It just don't help your cause that although Jordan Love hasn't really been able to break through the playoffs, like, he's still been pretty damn good. And the fact that the New Orleans Saints had an opportunity to get Jordan Love and they didn't, they decided to go with Cesar Ruiz. Like, let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and take it. I don't want to keep on piling on Cesar, but I mean, the show is just surrounded by, around him on this edition. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the draft. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the 2020 draft. We're gonna look at the players and who went after him. All right. Let's see. Okay, so Cesar Ruiz was the 24th pick in the 2020 NFL draft. All right. These are the players that went after him in the first round. Brandon Ayuk, head case, but if he wasn't, was pretty doggone good. Jordan Love, Jordan Brooks. I mean, a tackling machine for the Miami Dolphins. Patrick Queen. You got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, T. Higgins, Michael Pittman Jr., DeAndre Swift. I mean, I'm going into the second round, so, the Saints had pick number 24. Man, it just seemed like, the New Orleans Saints was always picking late. You got Antoine Winfield Jr. Like, you got Jalen Johnson, Trayvon Diggs, Cam Akers, Jalen Hurts. These are the guys that got drafted after Cesar Ruiz. You got Cole Kmet. These are the guys that got drafted. So when you see like the names of guys that are being consistent and making plays in the league that came after him, and you have two guys that are really good at the quarterback position in Jordan Love and Jalen Hurts. I don't care what anybody says. You can talk about Jalen all you want to. He's a Super Bowl champion at quarterback. We just know that Philly has certain standards. Like if Jalen Hurts was playing on some other team that, you know, of a fan base that wasn't rabid, like the Philadelphia Eagle fan base is, I don't think too many people will be up here questioning this dude like that. So when you think about all of those players that I just named, like some, you know, late first round picks, some of them in the second round, where the New Orleans Saints could have grabbed. Jonathan Taylor was a second round pick as well. Thank you, Dalton. So that's not a good look. I wanted Jordan Brooks. Yeah. Like I said, tackling machine. Rams are always drafting late, but they make it work and trade back to reload. That's when you got a good front office that's always working. Cooper Kupp, late round draft pick. Puka Nacua, late round draft pick. I believe Braden Fisk, late round draft pick. Bobby Brown, late round draft pick. Like they found guys that can make plays. Like I think Bobby Brown played for the Panthers now, but y'all get what I'm saying. Like they burn the midnight oil, and they go out here and they find the right guys. I said this on the last episode when we were talking Saints. The New Orleans Saints firing Dennis Allen and getting rid of Derek Carr, like it was a wake-up call to the front office. And I have seen improvement from the front office. I will give them that. It just seemed like they fell asleep at the wheel. But when you are, you know, in total misery and your fan base feel like you're totally inept, like that would motivate you, unless you just like, we gonna be all right. Like no more taking the fan for granted. We gonna roll with you. We gonna support you. Blase. Like no, man. Like we need to see results, and that's what woke up the front office. TJ, remember the reaction live you did of Cesar Ruiz in 2020 when selected? Yeah, do I? I think that was like one of them all-time great rants right there. That's like one of them all-time great rants right there. Let me see if I can find it for those that didn't see it. That was like that was like legendary stuff, man. It's not a time I talk about Cesar Ruiz that people don't bring that up. You know, that was like the first time we did like a draft reaction, because I wasn't on camera when the podcast first started. I was basically just doing voiceovers, couldn't afford no webcam at that time, man. Your boy was kind of struggling a little bit. But yeah, man. Yeah, that was just one of those moments, man, where I was just shocked, because I was so excited, because the New England Patriots, who needed a quarterback, they needed a quarterback, but they moved out of that spot. So I was like, oh man, we heard all the reports like Sean Payton was high on Jordan Love and all these things. So I'm like all excited. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be great. This is awesome, man. The New Orleans Saints, you know, they got, you know, they're gonna get their quarterback. So I'm all excited about it, man. Like Della Reese said on Hall of Nights, I got, you know, my mouth all fixed for some orange juice, right? I'm excited about this. Let me see if I can see if I got this footage right here. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Man, man, All right. Oh, here we go. I think I found it, folks. I apologize taking me this long. All right, so I'm about to go ahead and pull this up for those that didn't check it. This is me, like, basically just losing my freaking mind. I'm gonna see if I can go back a little bit. Like, are you thinking about trading with somebody or something? Hello, I got. Who was one of the top? I don't care. I don't know yet. All right, here we go. All right, let's see if we can find. Fast forward a little bit. What in the hell? What in the hell? Who? Who? Cesar Ruiz. What in the holy hell? You got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. Cesar Ruiz. Bruh, what in the world are they thinking? You got Teron Armstead. You got Andrews Pete. You got Eric McCoy. You got Larry Wolf and Ryan Ramchick. Why do you need a center? You drafted Eric McCoy last season. What in the hell? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. What in the world are you thinking? What in the world are you thinking? I'm at a loss for words. I really do not know what to say. I mean, I could have just ended the show right there, man. I promise you. I could have just ended the show. I don't get it. If they would have drafted a cornerback, I would have understood. If they would have drafted a safety, I would have understood. A linebacker, I would have understood. This man drafted a center. Like, are you thinking about trading with somebody or something? Or you say you was going to make a deal with somebody for getting a, like, are you doing this for draft capital? Or somebody wanted this dude, you knew it. Like, show could have been over, man. Hold on, there was more. Let me see if I can find it. This is so stupid. This was the stupidest pick I have ever seen. Makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. You have Pro Bowl caliber offensive linemen. They all of them. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that legendary Pro Bowl picture when they had Drew Brees and Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara, and they had like the majority of the offensive line. Like, this was the season they was coming off of that. So keep that in mind. And that one of them Pro Bowl caliber. You pay Andrews Pete 5 years, $57 million, and you draft a center when you have a center who came in and he played all world. What in the hell is going on here? Am I like, man, throw 2020 in the trash. Throw 2020 in the trash. Throw it in the trash, bro. Ball it up, crumble it up behind the back, and throw that mother lover in the trash. Man, that was legendary stuff right there, man. That was legendary stuff. I mean, there's more. Let me see if I can find. That ain't even my favorite part. It was like one part I just lost it. I lead it out the pit, old short pit. Just go ahead and throw your logic in the trash. I didn't say Ruiz wasn't good. And we sitting up in here with an offensive lineman that we don't even need. And y'all still up here. I still believe Sean Payton. Payton, I trust. I trust Sean Payton. I lead it out the pit, old Sean Payton. Tell me what kind of sense that made. Tell me what kind of sense that made, man. Please tell me what kind of sense that made. That made absolutely no sense. Bruh. I don't care if this dude becomes all pro. Which he didn't. I don't care if this dude becomes a Pro Bowl caliber player. Didn't need him. Never happened. All I'm saying. Waste of time. Is that they didn't need him. They didn't need him. They didn't need this dude. Man, I'm going to tell y'all something right now. I see my boy DJ, see my boy Mike, co-host along with myself of the NFC South versus NFL. I see them in the chat. I see them sitting up there with their new defensive tackle and their new offensive lineman. DJ, Tampa Bay fan, got a new quarterback, new tight end. But check this out, man. I still feel the Saints go win the division. And they did. This pick has absolutely nothing to do they did. With the way that I feel about the Saints winning the division. And they did. Was this one of the stupidest picks I ever seen in my entire life? Absolutely. Did this pick not make sense? Absolutely. So unnecessary. This was so unnecessary. The Saints podcast, like offensive lineman. Cesar Ruiz. Man, I could have ended the show. Look, man. I could have ended the show, man. This was keep Drew Brees' ego intact. These boys went out here and got an offensive tackle. We show my emotion or give emotion to give you all the amen corner. Okay? I come on the State of Saints podcast to give my perspective. Okay? If you agree with me, cool. If you don't agree with me, that's cool too. But I will never, ever, ever shortchange anybody that ever views my channel. I will never shortchange 6 years later, still saying the same thing. Straight up real reaction out of TJ Jones. If you want some fake optimism BS, go somewhere where people just think that the sun is shining every single day. But it ain't here. Okay? And I'm so sick and tired of people if they disagree with you saying you being a hater. Oh, you talk about Drew Brees. Oh, you're a hater. Oh, you talk about Alvin Kamara, you're a hater. Oh, you talk about the defense, oh, you fair weather. Look, I talk about everybody that needs to be talked about. If you want to hear a whole bunch of positive, I got the faith, I believe all type of BS, then go to somebody else's channel because you're going to get it raw and rugged right here. When the Saints do something well, I'm going to say something. If the Saints do something bad, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to criticize them. I am a fan, a true fan, not a fake fan, not a phony fan, not a fan that just want people to just be a part of the channel and just give you everything just because you guys can stay here. I'm a firm believer. If you like me, cool, roll with me. If you don't like me, fine. There's other channels I'm pretty sure that you can choose from. Tough, because I am going to continue to talk and criticize this.
Man, there was one part. I can't find it.
Draft first round is over.
I can't find it. It was one part. I mean, I just absolutely like lost it. I can't find it, but it was just me breaking down the whole process. But look, man, you can go ahead and check it out. It's around the 240 mark on that video, man. I'll go ahead and I'll put that link inside of the comments if you want to go ahead and see it in its entirety. But yeah, that was legendary stuff right there. That was legendary stuff, man. I don't think they would ever be replicated. Like seriously, like I've done like several shows, but that right there was just raw emotion. That was just raw emotion right there, man. But appreciate y'all for being here. For those that remember that episode and still here to this day, y'all the real MVPs. Is this when the Miz went missing in the training room? I don't know, man. Just came in. Did TJ play the Ruiz pathetic clip? Yeah, man, that was that legendary tip right there. Someone was high as hell on that pick. Trash. Cesar salad Ruiz. SC, I would love to play poker with Mickey Loomis fleecing. LOL, TJ would blow. I was, man, I could have ended the show right there, King Arthur. I could have ended the show there. Man, but thank y'all for that, man. Thank y'all for that. And also, it just puts things into perspective, man. Where we came from and where we are now, man, it's just a straight blessing to be able to talk about this stuff. And so many people who are still here rocking with your boy to this day, talking Saints football, man. That's the reason I tell people, like, man, it's not just a channel over here, it's a family. Especially when we talking Saints football, when we talking about sports in general, it's a family, man, because I've grown to like establish like friendship and relationships with a lot of people that follow the channel, talking to people behind the scenes, you know, like my boy Chosen, like Jerry, King Arthur, like, and so many others, man. And man, been here for a hot minute, man, for years. Like we almost, look, we 8 years into this. Like, man, it's been a long time. So that's why I say, man, I love what I love what I do, man. I just love being able to do this and chopping it up with some amazing people, man. TJ, you got to do Davenport. I'm trying to remember. I don't think I was doing the State of the Saints podcast the year he got drafted. I started doing the State of the Saints after week 1 of the 2018 season when Ryan Fitzpatrick lit up the Saints for 400 plus yards. That's when I started doing the podcast. So Davenport was already drafted by the Saints. So, but if you would have like seen my reaction, boy, I was like, man, what the world is going on? I tell people I never forget where I was when the Saints drafted Davenport. I will never forget. I'm gonna tell y'all exactly where I was at. Some of y'all probably already heard this story. I apologize if you did, but for those that are new, never heard it, I was at Planet Fitness. It was night. At the time, like they had the little TV in the back, they had the draft on, and you know, I was on a treadmill. I'm like, man, okay, the Saints aren't picking until a little bit later. Around that time, I'll be on that side, you know, working out on that side. I'll be able to check out the draft and get my little workout in with my floor exercises or whatever. So all of a sudden, the Saints jump up, and I'm like, oh, snap. I get off the treadmill, and you had a bunch of the talking heads that were covering the draft talking about Lamar Jackson. So I'm like, oh, man, oh, snap. The Saints about to get Lamar Jackson. They're about to get Lamar. I'm all excited, man. I'm sweating. Y'all know what I'm about to say. Like, I'm about to be drafted. And all of a sudden, when the Saints drafted Marcus Davenport, I tell you no lies. I got my stuff and I left. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I could not believe that the New Orleans Saints had Lamar Jackson on the board and they didn't draft him. Everybody thought that the Saints were going to draft Lamar Jackson. It was like, oh man, this makes perfect sense. We're about to hit Lamar Jackson. I mean, bruh, I left. I left. I mean, midway through my workout, I'm like, man, look, I just threw my hands in the air and I was like, man, what in the world? What in the world are the New Orleans Saints thinking? That's what was on my mind. I'll never forget that as long as I live. I would tell that same story because it never changed. I thought for sure they were going to get Lamar Jackson, but they didn't. But it is what it is, folks. And we're exactly 1 week away from the NFL draft. 1 week away from the NFL draft. As y'all know, it has become a tradition here on the State of the Saints podcast, Straight Up TJ podcast, to do a live reaction show in the first round of the draft. And we will do that again. All right. We will be breaking down the 2026 NFL draft. We have a really good time over here. We joke around. We have a good time. We open up the phone lines. We do it live. We do it real. And I'm telling you, we have ourselves a lot of fun. So if you want to find a place where you can watch the draft live and, get the reactions in real time, this is the place. Make sure that you check it out. And also, I just want to say thank you for people that have been a part of the tradition with us here on this channel. I cannot wait to break down the 2026 NFL draft, man. It's been a minute, but we're finally here. It's been a while, but we're finally here. All right. This is the last time, right? We're going to be talking about this. I'm going to give the chat an opportunity. This is your final selection for the 8th pick in the 2026 NFL draft. Who do you have the New Orleans Saints taking? The time for talk is over. Everybody done mock draft 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, 5.0. Put your player in the chat. Who do you want to see the New Orleans Saints take at number 8? Let me know. Who do you feel the New Orleans Saints are going to take with the 8th pick? Who do you want to see? Who do you want to see? I'm gonna give people a few minutes. That's how we're gonna end the show. Give everybody opportunity. Go ahead and put it in there. I'm starting to see some people add some names. I'm gonna give you a little bit more time. All right, a little bit more time. But if you're new to the channel, while everybody's putting their draft pick in there, feel free to put your draft pick in the draft. In the chat as well, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. All right. So we got some names here. Uptown says Caleb Downs. Big B93 says Carnell Tate. Abby says Bain. Addison, you got to pick one. All right, you got to pick one. I'm not going to reveal what you said. I'm gonna let you get an opportunity to pick one of them. Slim says Mansour Delane. Eric says Caleb Downs. Abby once again said Baines. Dalton got to pick one. It's put up a shut up time. Bain Jr. says Universe. Joshua said Caesar Salad. You heard the man. He said him. I'm just glad he has confidence in himself, but I'm skeptical about that. Cannon says Caleb Downs. Provo says Downs. Chase says J Love. I think he might be gone, man, to be honest with you. Abby, once again, he's very high on Bain. It's the third time he said it, Hurricane Bain. Let's see. See, Nelly says Tyson likely. Okay. Granddaughter says Sonny Styles if he falls. No, that's your first choice right there. We're going to keep it with that. It is one player, right? You can't be like, nah, man. Look, you at the table, it's time to roll them dice, right? It's put up or shut up time. One player. In a perfect world, the Saints could have 2 first-round picks, but look, one player. I'm going to go down, CJ. Okay, Addison. There we go. I'm seeing a lot of Caleb Downs here. To be honest, Downs, Bain, or Delane straight with me. I mean, they all be straight, but like I said, if you can pick out of those players, who is it going to be? H-Town says David Bailey. Okay. We don't need running back in the first round. Who that says Emmanuel Pregnant? That might be another Cesar Ruiz rant right there. One player, then Styles all day. Okay. EJ B Praise says Downs. Okay. We got Malachi Lemon, says Paul. All right. We got Tyson, says Mr. Runtane. All right. Dalton made his decision, said he will go Delane. And Chase says, who is my guy? Who is my guy? My guy is Mansour Delane. Because I think that the New Orleans Saints need somebody to complement Kool-Aid McKinstry. Like, if we're talking about what the Saints like really truly need, like they need somebody that can be that lockdown corner, that possible lockdown corner. Like, I think that you can get yourself a really good wide receiver in the second round. Like, if the Saints end up drafting Chris Bell, like that would be a really good pickup. And we've seen the New Orleans Saints draft wide receivers in the second round and they make plays. I mean, Michael Thomas was a second round pick. I mean, so to say that, okay, just because you don't get a wide receiver in the first round don't mean that you're not going to get a good one. I don't think that's accurate. So I would say Delane, because Delane is exactly what you need. Like, when you look around with safeties, even though, like I mentioned this before, like they're solid, right? I mean, if you can get Caleb Downs, that would be great. But if you don't get Caleb Downs, you might be able to like kind of manipulate the roster to a point where it can work in your favor. But if you don't have a cornerback, a really good cornerback opposite of Kool-Aid McKinstry, and I believe in Quincy Riley, he did some good things, but Delane is a guy that can be your shutdown corner. He's a guy that can be your neutralizer against some top wide receivers in the league. So if we're talking about a position of need and something that's imperative that the Saints address, you got to go cornerback. So that'd be Mansour Delane. I don't care about, oh man, well, that's not a good pick because he's not worth the 8th pick. Look, if a guy ends up being a really good player, doesn't matter where they draft him. If he justifies the pick. If the Saints was to get Vega from Penn State and he ends up being a really good right guard for the New Orleans Saints, who cares if they pick him at 8? We only start caring about picks when they don't work. If a guy justifies the pick, then who cares? If Calvin Banks didn't justify the pick last year, then people would care. The fact that he justified it, when some people felt like, man, well, maybe the Saints should have went after somebody else. If he didn't justify it, then you would be mad. So I'm going Delane. I like Caleb Downs a lot, but the Saints will probably pick him, but he'll be playing like nickel and safety. I mean, he gives you a lot. So if they were to select him, that would make sense. But if we're talking about, the Saints need something that's extremely important to their success, I would have to say you need yourself another true corner that can be your number one. Try Keontae Scott in the second round. Well, now if you're talking about getting cornerbacks in the second round, then we're talking about the Saints possibly drafting a wide receiver, because I don't think that the New Orleans Saints
are going to go into the third round trying to go after a wide receiver. I think they're going to try to address that in the first 2 rounds. Rather, it's going to be first round or second round. I mean, that's just my thoughts about it. But thank you all so much for checking out this edition of the Straight Up TJ podcast. We got a little State of Saints podcast going on this episode. Appreciate everybody for dropping by. If you came in a little bit late, you can always go back and check out the show. We talked about Cesar Ruiz. We played the clip from the Teron Armstead podcast. I encourage everybody to check it out. I put the link to the Teron Armstead podcast inside of the comments. Make sure you check it out so you can see the interview with Cesar Ruiz in its entirety. Judge for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. I mean, formulate your own opinion based on what he said. Previous episodes are available here on the YouTube channel. I'm just asking everybody to please subscribe to the Bleacher Report and start commenting and hitting that like button on some of the videos, the shorts that I'm putting out every single day for the most part with them. All you got to do is just download the app. You can search New Orleans Saints. You'll see those videos, right? It's not very hard. It's not like you have to look for me directly. If you search the New Orleans Saints, you'll see some of those videos. I'm just asking you to check it out. Hit that like button. Give me some feedback, man. Just want to let them know, man, that we have a strong fan base. It kind of hurts me a little bit, man, that, the New Orleans Saints fans are a strong fan base, and we got some representation there. Like I'm a lifelong Saints fan. I was born and raised in the city. Turned that into, just doing reporting as well. But I just love I love the team. All right. And to get opportunities like that on a major publication like Bleacher Report is a dream. So just want to keep on maintaining that momentum. And like I said, if you have a few minutes, just take a few minutes, check out the video, hit that like button. If you agree with me, fine. If you don't, just give it some feedback so we can continue to grow on the Bleacher Report brand. You can check out episodes of the podcast that are available on Yahoo Sports as well. Make sure that y'all check that out. And I hope everybody's enjoying the Straight Up TJ podcast. I know that people want me to talk Saints, and I will continue to talk Saints, but I do want to talk about other things in sports. I know, there are going to be some things that some people are like, I don't know about that, TJ, but there are going to be different episodes that everybody can enjoy, but we're still going to be talking Saints on this channel. So make sure that you tune in, give your feedback. Shouts out to everybody that has so far. And let's just continue to grow as a channel, as a fan base. And I appreciate the support. Until next time, I'll see you down the road.
DJ, yeah. Straight up. Let's go. Welcome to Straight Up DJ. Tap in, sit back, press replay. Been locked in with the Saints on a weekday. Now we talking every sport, every big play. Years on the grind, now we level up the view from the dome to the world.